Do you want to decide? Then please do it right. To help you with this, we developed PhaenoMind. Why are decisions so important? We constantly make various decisions in our lives. If we buy a house, when we choose a partner, or if we want to adjust our stock portfolio. We often make such decisions without being aware of the background and circumstances. Later, we often ask ourselves, why did we make that decision back then? This can work in private life, but in professional life that makes little sense. But first, a few important words to get you started. We would be happy if you would like to use PhaenoMind to support your decisions. Please only use it as support, never as a basis. Any decision is only as good as the information you previously entered. We will not be liable if any problems or damages of any nature arise as a result of a decision supported by PhaenoMind. PhaenoMind supports you. You have to take responsibility yourself. Now you can start making your decisions. When it comes to your work, there can be many factors that influence decisions. For example, which machine you should buy, or which applicant is best suited for a new position. It can then quickly happen that you have to justify your decision afterwards. With a machine, it is usually simple. There are factors such as price, power consumption, or performance. These factors can be measured or simply determined. After an evaluation, one of the machines is usually at the top of the evaluation list. This type of decision is called utility analysis. It is a form of quantitative evaluation of various options. All machines are rated and the best one wins, and the result is explainable and provable. Things get more complicated when it comes to gut feeling. The good design of a house or the positive character of a person cannot be measured in numbers. But we can compare our options with each other in terms of these properties. The design of House A is much better than the design of House C. And House B's design is just a little bit better than the design of House A. Or Linda has a much better character than Paul. Paul's character is not that positive. Bill is more open and friendly. This is where it becomes difficult to find a ranking for a decision. The paired comparison method still allows the differences between options to be evaluated. This method also works if there are contradictions. But how does our brain work when we make decisions? This is where things get interesting because neither the qualitative method nor the quantitative method stands alone. Only both methods together map the function of our brain. The left hemisphere of the brain is where the rational thoughts that lead to a quantitative decision arise. Emotions live in the right half. There, the brain makes impressions tangible. This is where what we perceive as a gut feeling arises. It can be that sometimes one side is stronger and sometimes the other side. Phænomind combines both sides into a common assessment. The weight of each side can be made stronger or weaker for the decision. Deciding on a stock is something different than deciding on a house. So how do decisions really work? To do this, we must first look at the individual elements that make up decisions. Decisions are often made quickly and without thought. PhaenoMind helps you think through your decisions carefully. The following building blocks need to be specified clearly and completely so that you get the best support for your decision. What is the difference between options and alternatives? Of the alternatives, you can only choose one. In PhaenoMind, we also want to be able to choose between several alternatives with different characteristics. That's why we work with options at PhaenoMind. Our options should be comparable to each other. That's why we use the same criteria for our decisions for all options. An example: when purchasing a car, fuel consumption is a criterion. This can be determined and specified for all cars, that is options. If we only have this one criterion, then the car with the lowest fuel consumption will be at the top of the decision list. In real life, however, we have a lot of criteria for our options. For a car, for example, this can be the consumption, the top speed, the price, but also the design. Each criterion must know what type it is. We call these types of attributes. For consumption, for example, this is a decimal number, and this number is better the lower it is. When it comes to top speed, perhaps this is a whole number. In this case, however, the criterion is stronger if the number is higher. When it comes to design, it's not that easy. The design cannot be represented directly as a number. We therefore use pairwise comparison for the design criterion. A criterion therefore has the attribute more quickly is better, or comparatively A is more beautiful than B. For a quantitative decision, it makes sense to at least sort the criteria. Criteria higher on the list should be more important than criteria lower down. In addition to the simple order, we can also assign factors that give the criteria a weight. In this way, some criteria become more important than others. PhaenoMind offers 6 different options to distribute the weights across a sorted list of criteria. When all criteria have been determined, these are evaluated for each option. For buying a car, this means that you have the consumption, the top speed, and enter any other criteria for each option. This can be a lot of work, but it's worth it. When all options are entered, all criteria are present, and the weights and ratings are entered. Then we can decide. The result of the decision is displayed as a bar chart. Depending on the scope, calculating the decision may take some time. The best option is at the top, the worst at the bottom. PhaenoMind allows you to save and restore your decisions. A printout as a PDF with all the information relevant to the decision is often helpful. This makes it easier to explain decisions and use them as a basis for negotiations. Often, after a long time, we are interested again in the reasons for our decisions. It is precisely then, when new options or other criteria arise later, that we question our old decisions. In order to then achieve a new classification of the decision, we get the old decision and add options, criteria, or evaluations to it. Then we can recalculate and possibly get a different result. There aren't many programs to help you make your decisions. PhaenoMind tries to be the best option for you. If you choose PhaenoMind, then PhaenoMind can decide for you.